Come on in, come on in, come on in to the webinar. Come on in, come on in. My name is Linda PV. I'm going to be your host for this evening, where we're going to talk about how you get grant money for your woman-owned business or your woman-led nonprofit. And now it is more important than ever that you are ready to go January 1st so that you can take advantage of this money while it is available. My name is Linda PV again. I'm going to be your host. So let me know who is here with me today. I'm in the land, not too far from Cleveland, Ohio, where we've had snow for like the last 3 or 4 days. The county over from us had like 40 inches of snow, and we're supposed to get quite a bit, quite a bit. There's literally like this winter storm warning available uh between now and oh gosh, the weekend. So we're in for some serious snow. So let me know who's here with me. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Give that city and that state a shout out. Hello, Melissa from Louisiana and Lavisha. Is that right? Lavisha from Georgia and Davisha from North Carolina and Keitha. Keitha. I had him rhyming for a minute, right? I had him rhyming for a minute. Uh, this is Keitha from Monroe, Louisiana, and Janet from Illinois, and hey, Mary from West Virginia, and Miranda, or is it Miranda, from West Palm Beach, Florida, and Shakini, is that right, Shakini? From Michigan. Oh, yes, Mary, where are you? Snow, snow, snow. Yes, it's here. It's upon us. Some of us, some of us, right? And because I know, let's see, West Palm Beach, you probably don't have any, right? Anita, you're in Alabama, probably not any, right? And Ernisha from Tampa, and Lala from Memphis. And let's see, Degetta, is that right? Degetta from Des Moines, Iowa. Yes, right. Tracy from Los Angeles. So we are just full of snow here. All right. So we're going to get started because I have a lot of information to share with you that's really, really important as you end this year so that you can start off the new year ready to go. It is go time. Time to get off the sidelines. Time to get off the sidelines. People who know me know I'm a big sports fan. Time to get in this game. Time to get into the grant game, right? And now is the time. Now is the time so that you can be ready on January 1. All right. Hello, Andre from our nation's capital, DC. And who else is here with me? All right, all right, all right. So the first thing you're going to see is just like my little 30-second TV commercial so that you can have an idea of what I do, the work that I do, and how I am able to help you. And then we're off to the races. We're going to get started. So I'm going to share my screen. We are live. And whenever I share this screen and we are live, I always say, come through technology. Come through for me. Come through. Come through. All right. It is looking good. It is looking good thus far. All right. All right. All right. I think we're off to the races.
Hi, I'm Linda Peavy, owner of LaPav Consulting. My passion is to place your organization on the path to excellence. Are you struggling to communicate your message, reach target audiences, or secure funding? From marketing communications to grant writing, we achieve your goals. We've worked with high-profile clients and have secured $17 million in funding for charter schools and nonprofits. Call today to discuss what your success looks like and how LaPav Consulting can help.
All right. Let me make sure everybody's in the right place. Grant writing for women-owned businesses and women-led nonprofits. This is my live 7 o'clock session. We were on earlier at noon, and we had such a good time. And I know we will tonight. Now, my background, yes, they call me the grants queen because I have secured over $17 million in grants and business development. Now, this is year 16 of me owning my business, LaPav Consulting. And every one of those 16 years, I've been a professional grant writer. I provide grant writing workshops all over the country to many organizations, including Goldman Sachs and others. and I am a proud alumnus of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Program. I am also a member of Forbes Black, which is an organization of Black leaders affiliated with Forbes magazine. Now, my undergrad and graduate degrees are from the University of Akron. Go Zips, go Zips, go Zips. Now, yes, I have a business, but I used to lead a nonprofit. So I want to know who's here with me today. So let me know in the chat. Are you a nonprofit or are you a for-profit, meaning you're a small business, or maybe you're both? Because I am really finding more and more often that nonprofits are starting for-profits and for-profits are starting nonprofits. So maybe you're both, right? So let me know. Let me know who is here with me tonight. Look at all these boths. That's incredible, right? Meaning you have a nonprofit and a for-profit. Okay, some for-profits, some nonprofits. Small business wanting to start a nonprofit. Excellent. It really does put you in the best possible position to get grant money because some grants are only geared towards small businesses. Some grants are geared towards nonprofits. Some grants are geared towards either or. Those are usually your government grants. But the good news is that yes, there's grant money for both. There are grant money for your nonprofits, right? But yes, absolutely, there's grant money for small businesses, and that's what you need to know. And I see someone who's affiliated with a ministry. Yes, there's grant money for churches. Yes, there's grant money for faith-based organizations. So you're all in the right place. All right. What will we go through today? Quite a bit, right? But first, I just want to share with you how I got here, right? I used to be a publishing executive in Pennsylvania, and I got hurt. When I got hurt, I had to move back home to Cleveland, right? And I was in professional publishing. So, as you can imagine, Cleveland, Ohio is like not the publishing mecca of the United States. No, 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 right? So, I couldn't find a job. And it took me 2 years to recuperate. And at the end of those 2 years, I decided to start my own business because there just wasn't any work available. And that's when I started Lipov Consulting, haven't looked back. One of my first contracted positions, though, was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. But I don't think I was there 2 weeks before I was called into the board of directors' office and told that I had to write a grant that would save my job, that would pay for my salary, right? Thus saving my job, thus saving the organization. Now, I had never seen a grant before, had no knowledge of grants. But you know what? I did it. I researched. I wrote that grant. I won that grant. It paid for my salary. It saved my job. It saved the organization. And I knew then, yes, 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 you can write grants with no experience. I was certainly able to do it. But it also taught me what you can do with grant funding, free funding, right? Grant funding is free money to you. You can thrive, you can open, right? Some of you have not yet opened. You can grow, you can hire help. Are you not tired of wearing all of the hats, right? So we'll talk a lot more about what it is that you can accomplish when you receive free grant funding. All right. Now, what else will we talk about? Why this class is even important. We'll go through the grant landscapes. We'll talk about some grant basics. But how do you prepare to apply for grants? And then what do you write in the application and how do you write it so that the foundations, right, are attracted to you? And then how do you conduct grant research so that you are finding those foundations, right, that are going to be attracted to you and align with your mission statement? And then don't go anywhere because I have a bonus surprise for you at the end. And I have a list of grants. And we're going to do a Q&A. Now, speaking of Q&A, this is not the time for you to be shy. It just is not. This is your opportunity to ask a grants expert and a grant instructor questions about grants. So drop them into either the chat or the Q&A, either one, not both, just one or the other. the chat or the Q&A, and I will get to the questions at the end. All right. Also, I cannot stress this enough that I am here to help you, right? Therefore, you are going to get a copy of this replay. You will get it tonight. It will be free to you. I do not charge for these replays because you need this information. And I want you to have this information, and I want you to be able to come back to it again and again and again. So I don't put some expiration date on my webinars, right? So you're going to get the replay. You'll get it tonight. It will be free. You'll have it forever. All right. It's ready. It's ready. It's time to go. Now, why is this class even important? Because we, as women leaders, need access to money. And guess what? It should always be about loans, right? We need grant money because grant funding is free to us. And this is for all of you. You can do this. You can write grants. It's not what it used to be, right? There's no need to be scared. You're not sitting in some corner for 3 months on end, writing some 500-page grant application. No, there are so many grants that are 2 and 3 pages, right? So you can do this, but you must know there's a process. This is about more than you just answering some questions and sending off an application. That's a quick way to get a rejection letter. What I've learned after having secured $17 million, there's a process. And that is what I'm going to teach you today. All right. So get ready, get ready, get ready. Now, why is there so much money for nonprofits and small businesses? We know that there have always been money for nonprofits, right? That's nothing new. But your small businesses, that's new. That happened because of COVID. Small businesses were going under at an alarming rate. And then your major corporation stepped in and said, oh, we need to do something to help save small businesses, right? And so those corporations with foundations started to create pools of grant money earmarked specifically towards small businesses and especially towards women-owned businesses, right? Now, your typical community foundations, private foundations, family foundations, they're still giving predominantly to nonprofits. But the good news is now there's money for both. There's money for you as a nonprofit or as a small business. And that is good news indeed. All right. Now, some grant basics. What do you need to know? Grants are not paid back, regardless of what you are seeing on social media. And I see some pretty crazy stuff on social media when it comes to grants. Grants are not paid back. Now, for the next minute, I'm only talking to nonprofits. Get your 501c3. Foundations are mandated by their board of directors that they can only give their grant money to nonprofits with their 501c3 designation, right? That's your tax exempt charitable organization status by the IRS. And it used to take the IRS, about 6 months to process these applications. Now it's only taking about 8 weeks. So get your 501c3. This is going to be critical for you as a nonprofit. All right. This is just for nonprofits. Now, from this point forward in this presentation, I'm talking to everybody. Small businesses, nonprofits, everybody. All right. Especially with this next slide. Everybody look at this slide. This is U.S. grant annual funding. Foundation Corporation Bequest Giving. Look at this number. This is for 1 year. $189 billion given 1 year. If I was to throw in individual giving, now we're at $445 billion. Ladies, don't let anybody tell you that there's no grant money. There's plenty of grant money available. Ask yourself, how is it that you are going to place your organization in a position to get it? And I want you to focus on this number, $189 billion, but do not be overwhelmed. I don't want you to look in that number thinking, oh, that's unattainable. There's no way. It's too much. I can't do it. Because all you need to do is focus on what you need, right? And what you need is just a little bit of that $189 billion. So I want you to think about this, and I want everybody right now to write in the chat. I just need a little bit. I just need a little bit. You just need a little bit of $189 billion. You know what you need, right? So you focus on what you need. Don't be overwhelmed when you see these large numbers, right? That's what I'm talking about. Dara, right? Lakeitha, Melissa, you just need a little bit, right? Do you, Latrice, do you need it all? Do you need all $189 billion, Anita? Or can you just take maybe, can you take a slice of it? I'll settle for a slice. Taralan, will you take a slice? As a matter of fact, Shakini, I'll take the crumbs. This is a lot of money. I'll take the crumbs that other people leave, right? I'll take the crumbs that fall from $189 billion, right? All of you need to understand that the money is available. Don't let anybody tell you different. Look, Lavisha says, I know exactly what I need. Okay, between $30,000 and $50,000. That's what I'm talking about. Write it down, speak it into existence. All right. But it's a small amount and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to go around. All right. So just keep that in mind as you are pursuing these grants. Now, they call me the grants queen. Therefore, it's chilly where I am. So I'm going to be giving out nice cups of tea. And this is the first cup. It is called Grammarly. Now, if you use Grammarly, give yourself some love in this chat. What is it? It is a free software editing tool, right? You download it onto your computer. You use it for Word. You use it for Excel. You use it for email. Why is this important? Because I do not want you submitting grant applications full of grammatical errors. Not when you have a free software program like Grammarly that will self-correct, that will suggest editing, right? That will redo your application if you need for it to as you are moving through, right? It is an editing program. It's free. It's free. And what's great about it is that when you download it onto your computer, it opens up right away immediately. As you open up your Word document, there sits Grammarly waiting to help you. Literally, it is amazing and it's free. Who is using Grammarly? Who is using Grammarly? Who is using it? Is anybody using Grammarly? Oh my goodness, if you are not, you've got to download Grammarly. It's free. It's free and courtesy of our friends at Grammarly. I have another article. Ala Costa is using Grammarly. Isn't it amazing? Anisha says, I'm downloading it now. That's what I'm talking about. Why wait? Why wait? Start writing better tonight and download this article. Improve writing skills dramatically by doing these 15 things. This article, I want you to download. It will help you to write better. But Grammarly.com, free, free, free. That's right, Lydia. Speaking into existence, $79,000 is on its way to me. That's what I'm talking about. Lavisha uses it for kids, both college students now. I have it, but we'll use it more. Listen, it doesn't matter how many letters are behind your name. I am a professional writer, a professional editor, and a professional grant writer. I wouldn't write without Grammarly. I would never write without Grammarly. All right. So use it, use it, use it, use it. Right. We don't want you submitting those grant applications full of grammatical errors. And it's easy to do. It's easy to do. It's easier than you think. Now, what are we doing? We are preparing to apply for these grants. Get your documents in order, your EIN, your employer identification number, right? You can get it instantaneously from the IRS, and your 501c3 for the nonprofits, right? Now, you may or may not need your business license or your state certification, right? It would be your articles. Now, this depends on what state you're in. I'm in Ohio and I have a business in Ohio. Therefore, it is required that I have a business license. So you have to check with your Secretary of State. Your Secretary of State. Go to that website, find out whether or not you need a business license. Nonprofits, you know that it is a requirement that you have a board of directors. So get your list together. For-profits, if you have a board, great, get your list together. And get letters of support. Let these foundations know that there are other organizations that support you. Where are they coming from? You can ask your pastor, the church, community leaders, politicians, if you know them, right? Your vendors. And for all of you, you need a current operating budget. Yes, you're going to have to complete a budget. And yes, you can estimate. You must have an idea right? Even if you guess of how much money it's going to take for you to operate over the course of a year. Because once you have that figured out, and again, doesn't have to be totally accurate, it will also allow you to determine how much grant money you need. Because you could be thinking, oh, there's no way I'll ever get grants because I need like $1 million. And then when you actually create your operating budget of what expenses you think you're going to be using for the year, you might only need a $25,000 grant. So just create your budget. And yes, 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 you can use estimates, all right, of how much you think you're going to need. If you are currently operating, be sure to get those financial documents in order because you're going to need them. Your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement. All right. Be sure you drop those questions into that Q&A or the chat. Now, I'm going to go through the typical components of a grant application and give you best practices. All right. The first section that you are going to see is called the summary abstract. Whatever you do, always write it last. Don't be fooled. You see it first, you write it last because you're going to go through that grant application and pull out like the most compelling components and dump them into the summary abstract. All right. All right. Next. Oh my goodness, the mission statement. And just so you know, if you are a small business, yes, you need a mission statement too. Why? Because this mission statement is going to lead you to the foundations and the organizations that want to give you money because you need to align your mission to their mission. Are you laser focused on K through 12 education? Make sure you're seeking a foundation that also has a passion for education. And guess what? You're not changing your mission statement, right? Based on what foundation you apply for grant money from. No, your mission statement is static. It defines who you are, your aims and your goals. You don't change that. You should be seeking foundations that align to your mission statement. So if you don't have a mission statement, that's like homework 101 for you. Okay? All right, got it? Got it. Now, history section, never leave this blank, even if you are a startup. Because guess what? Now you're going to be focused on what was the impetus for you starting your organization? What was happening? What were the experiences or the activities? Because whatever they were becomes a part of the history of that organization. All right. Next, leadership. That's easy. Your CEO, your COO, your executive director, but you always include your board of directors, very much a part of your leadership team. All right. Now, this next section, this is how you are going to set yourself apart from everybody else. It is how you describe your organization. And I want you to think about one word, impact, right? What has been the impact of your organization on those for whom you serve? And I want you to use real numbers. Do you have a homeless ministry? How many homeless people have you placed into shelters? Do you have a small business, an LLC? Maybe you have a online coaching service, right? And you need grant funding. Maybe it's in career development. How many people have you led to their future careers? And let's say you haven't even opened, right? You're wanting to open, you need startup money. Now you're going to focus on what you want your impact to be. Maybe you want to open up a tutoring, right? Agency for middle school kids, after school program, right? Tutoring. Now you can say, oh, I want my impact to be that once they take my tutoring program, they will increase their reading proficiency scores by 3%. All right. So whether you are currently open or you want to open, you write about the impact using real numbers when you describe your organization, right? I hope that's clear. Now, this section here, this is where I think many of you might have to rethink how you see your organization because you need to write this application as if you are addressing an issue or solving a problem. And there's always a problem. It doesn't matter your industry, doesn't matter your profit status, nonprofit, for profit. You have to write as if you are addressing an issue. Let's say you are a bakery, your bakery, LLC. You want to locate in the downtown community. You need a $20,000 grant, right? You might be thinking, what issue is she resolving? She's making cookies all day. Maybe she decided to open up a vegan bakery because vegans really don't have a lot of great places to buy baked goods, right? Or maybe there have been so many other failed businesses where she's trying to relocate, that for her, it's all about economic development for that community, right? So whatever that issue is, whether it's economic development or whether it's the restaurant industry, it can lead you to the foundation that wants to give you money because you want to connect to organizations giving funding in that same area. And every foundation has an area of interest that they're giving funding to, right? So you need to find out where are they funding, how are they funding, right? Where do you go? What do you do? Well, you go to that foundation's website. It's always going to be there, right? The problem is 90% of foundations don't have a website. So that's where you've got to get creative about getting information about these foundations that are giving grant money. All right. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, this next section, oh, is where a lot of you get into trouble, right? I've been consulting with businesses for 16 years now. I serve as a business coach for the WBC Women's Business Council, which is part of the ECDI, which is funded by the Small Business Administration. And I can tell you, when I ask you, who are you helping? Too often I help everybody. I just, like, if somebody comes to me, I have to help them. Well, that's noble, but you get burnt out real fast. You cannot help everybody. I've got to get you to understand this. You can't help everybody, right? You should have one, maybe two target population that you really focus on. But here's the key. You want to help, you want to serve more, have a reference service, have a referral service. So if there's a service that you can't adequately provide to your client, be ready to connect them to another resource. Have a list, a referral list, right? But you should have one, maybe two. If you want to drop yours into the chat, we'll talk about it a little bit later, your target populations. But you should have one, maybe two, because even if you have one of these, you still need to drill down. If you tell me that you work with the homeless, homeless who? Homeless veterans, homeless moms, right? One, maybe two target populations. And get excited, be excited. This is truly your opportunity when you write a grant to tell your story. Many of you, you've been working on these organizations for years. This is your opportunity to tell these foundations what you do and how you help, and the lives you've changed and the outcomes that you've been able to achieve, right? And there's no better way of doing this than using video. Please use video when it comes to these grant applications. It is a game changer, right? If you're currently operating, you have your client pick up that cell phone and talk into it for 30 seconds and get you a testimonial and put it on the homepage of your website. And yes, foundations will go to your website to check you out. And let's say you haven't even started yet. Now you're using video to showcase what the issue is that you want to resolve, right? So be excited. I want you to be excited about this opportunity for you to get free money, right? And for you to tell your story, because all of you have phenomenal stories as to what brought you to this particular place and time, right? And you get to tell it on a grant application, right? All right. Now, all of you have a decision to make. Are you asking for operating grant money or program project grant money? Now, we love getting operating grant dollars because that means you have money to shore up your administrative fees, right? So you can spend operating dollars on whatever you wish. It could be your salaries, it could be your lease, it could be IT, because you're building up your administration, right? Which is phenomenal. But only about 32% of foundations give this general operating support. Most grant money has to go to a particular program or project, which is great, which is fine, or service. Next, this is a key takeaway. You have to apply to multiple foundations. This is for all of you. This is critical. This is not like a sprint, right? This is a marathon. Now, why do you think you have to apply to multiple foundations? Let me know in the chat. Why do you think you must apply to multiple foundations? Let me know in the chat. What do you think? Why do you think that is true? that you should be applying to multiple foundations. Let me see. More chances, inertia, yes, absolutely. Better chance of being approved by someone, Melissa, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Right? Funding availability, Davisha, yes. Give you a chance, giving you more opportunities. Yes. All you need is one yes. But when you get that one yes, what are you going to do? You're going to keep going. You're going to keep going. Lavisha, how do you serve young ladies between 8 and 20? What are you doing? All right, drop that in. Now, here's the key reason, because grants are not guaranteed. And let me tell you, I hear horror stories literally almost every day about somebody being scammed because somebody told them, "Oh, I can get you some free grant money." Yesterday, yesterday, I was on Facebook and somebody was advertising, everybody's guaranteed free grant money, guaranteed to win free grant money. No, no. Don't let anybody tell you they can get you free grant money. It is a surefire scam. All right. So you apply to multiple foundations for what you need, right? That is important. Somebody said they almost fell for it. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, almost every day now, almost every day. I'm saying it. I kid you not, I can't make this up. Yesterday, there was this huge ad. Somebody was trying to scam people. $50,000 grant. Everybody wins. Ugh, don't get me started. All right. Community partnerships. I cannot possibly overstate to all of you the importance of you connecting with partners in your community. This is for each and every one of you. I don't care how small you are. I don't care if you're a solopreneur. You must develop community partnerships. One, it will strengthen your grant application, right? You need to connect with well-respected entities in your community. One, they know where the money is. You want to be able to partnership with them. And this can be easy. This does not have to be difficult. Let's say you have a tax firm. You could give a free tax talk 1 hour every month at your local library, a well-respected community partner. I just finished a tour through my entire library system throughout the city and the county, right? They're going to promote you. They're going to promote you, right? And that brings me to reason number 2 as to why you need to connect with community partnerships. You need to raise your level of visibility. Some of you have phenomenal programs, right? Nobody knows about the program. Nobody even knows about you, even in your own community, right? But when you connect with well-respected community partnerships and organizations, you get a little bit of their shine and they're going to promote the work that you're doing. So homework for all of you. I want you to name five community organizations that you are going to work with. I want to give you a quick example of how this works. Let's say you have a program where you want to help ex-offenders, right, to transition back to, right, regular life, right? Transition back to normal life outside of the criminal justice system, right? You have a program. Maybe you help give them some soft skills. Maybe you help teach them how to write a resume or to interview, or maybe you give them clothing. Who are you going to connect with? I want you to put into the chat, who would that organization connect with, right? The jail system, right? The sheriff, right? Because you need to get to the prisoners before, right, their release. So you want to know the warden, you want to know the chaplain, you want to know different bail and bond agencies, right? What is the term? I can't think of the term where they get out and I think they're on probation. Is that it? I think that's what it's called. But think about this, who you would connect with, right? The jail system, the sheriff's office, the local city, municipalities, right? You need to connect with the city because the city wants the recidivism rate, which is a rate at which prisoners go back to jail. They want that to be low. So you're going to connect with the city, right? That's like 4 or 5 right there. All of you can do this based on your organization, right? Exactly. They're going to connect with halfway houses, rehab houses, right? Transition centers. You see how easy this is when you think about it? All of you should be doing this. That's where you're going to create this list of 5 for homework. And then you're going to do what? You're going to contact those organizations. And it doesn't mean that you need to have been in business for a long time. No, you could be a startup. They need to know what you are doing. All right. Now, when you're writing this grant application, you must understand that you need to have goals. What are you going to do if you get the money? What do you expect to happen if you actually get the grant? You have to write a goal, right, into this grant application. Can't be a regular goal. Has to be a SMART goal. What is a SMART goal? A SMART goal is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, right? And sometimes they'll tell you how many, but usually they don't. So I always try to include maybe about three goals in the grant application. Let's say I have a literacy program and I write down as my goal, I want to reduce the poverty rate in Cleveland. I have a literacy program for kids. That's not a SMART goal. A SMART goal would say, I want to reduce the poverty rate by 5% in Cleveland for Hispanic children under the age of 5 within a 5-year time frame. What did I do there? Into the chat. How did I change that goal into a SMART goal? Because this is what you're going to need to do. What did I do there? Into the chat. Everybody into the chat. What did I do? What did I do? How did I change that goal into a SMART goal? Let's see, what did I do? I was more targeted, LaCosta. I added specifics, Melissa. Yes, yes, yes. Davisha provided details, was more specific, Mary. Yes, yeah. Ah, there we go. Annette got it. Measurables. Measurables. I added metrics, things that are measurable. 5% Hispanic children under the age of 5-year time frame. Anytime you want to change a goal into a SMART goal, you add data and stats, right? This is for any of you. Anytime you want to create a SMART goal, make sure you have data and stats, things that are measurable, metrics. All right. Now, I have this slide just to remind you that if you're going to be applying for grants, you need an updated bio. It's going to be homework for some of you, right? Just make sure you have an updated bio because foundations want to get to know who you are as a leader of the organization. So just update that bio. All right. Now we're on to the money. This is how you are going to showcase your use of the grant funding. When you create this budget, you must itemize these expenses. Let's say you want a $50,000 grant to hire an executive director for your nonprofit. Well, that's not good enough. Is the executive director going to be a contracted, right, person? If so, how many hours are they working a week? How many weeks out of the year? What is the pay rate per hour? You want to buy supplies? What supplies? What are they being used for? How much is each supply and how many do you need? So your description, your explanation of how you're going to be using the money goes into the budget narrative. The actual dollar amounts go into the budget, typically an Excel file. All right. So the numbers, an Excel file, the written description, the budget narrative. All right. Now, really quickly, I love this because you're really going to need to understand this now if you're going to be seeking grants. It's called sustainability. Just because you get grant money in year 1 does not mean you're going to get grant money in year 2. It does not, right? And so a lot of foundations were getting grant money in year 1, right? And then when year 2 came and they didn't get the grant money up, there went their program. Sometimes there went their entire organization. So now foundations are thinking, wait a second, they don't want to be placed in the position of thinking that they must give you grant money in year 2 in order for you to sustain your program. So now, in that initial application, you are going to need to write ways in which you are going to sustainability, your program in year 2, even if you don't get the grant money. We're going to do a quick activity. I want you all to think about a high school. A high school got a $20,000 grant in year 1 to pay for that tutoring program. But guess what? They had to write in that application that if they didn't get the $20,000 in year 2, they were going to be okay because they had a plan to be able to pay the $20,000 in year 2 and sustain that program. What do you think they wrote? Into the chat, everybody. What do you think they wrote? This is a high school. Absolutely. Right, Davisha, Anisha, fundraisers. You know about those, what is it? The candy sales? The car washes? right? They could say, we're going to work with the PTO and come up with maybe sponsorship kits to go to the community, right? Cookies, yes, the cookies, the bake sales, bring in the PTA to help them. Maybe they'll have a talent show. Maybe they'll have one of those community fairs, right? And you have to do the same thing. You have to be creative like these people in the chat. How are you going to write in that application that you're going to be okay in year two, even if you don't get the grant money? It could be anything from, we're going to bring in a volunteer grant writer to get us money. We're going to raise our prices. We're going to start placing ads so that we can bring in additional customers, right? Pop-up shops, excellent, right? So all of you will have to just think about this. If you get this question, and I've seen it on many, many, many applications recently, especially, all right? Now, this is the slide here. So if you don't take anything else away from this webinar, this is the slide. So if you need to take your screenshot, you do whatever. You're going to get the replay, but this is the slide. This is as important as anything you will ever write in the grant application. This is as important as anything you will ever write in the grant application. You need to meet with the foundation first before you submit the application. Yes, you need to meet with them. No, it's not scary. They want to meet with you. They're considering giving you money. You want to meet with them. You're trying to get their money, right? And in this meeting, oftentimes they will give you information about that grant that is not on their website because you're building a relationship. You're sitting across from each other. And by the way, this can be a 30-minute Zoom meeting. The only time that I would recommend that you go in person is if the foundation is in close proximity to where you live. Then I always recommend that you meet in person. But typically, this is like a 30-minute Zoom meeting, right? Uh, I probably set up 1,000 of these in the last 16 years. I always remember one client, 30-minute Zoom meeting at $30,000 because the missions aligned, right? And this is important. And it's not scary, right? You need to do this. Now, I know what some of you are saying. I know what some of you are saying. Like, Linda, wow, this sounds really good. This sounds good. This sounds really good. But I don't have time for this. I do not have time to write these grants. I don't have time to write these grants. Remember what I said to you at the beginning was that some of these grant applications are only 2 or 3 pages. So I have a question for all of you, and I want an answer. I'm going to look in the chat. I want to answer in the chat. I want to answer in the chat. Do you have time to get free money? Do you have time to get free money? Let me see if anybody has time to get the free money. Since you don't have time, do you have time to get this free money? Oh, I see yes. I'm saying yes. I'm saying absolutely. I'm saying yes, ma'am. I'm saying yes, I do. I'm saying absolutely. I'm saying yeah. Well, it looks like you have time to get free money. So if you have time to get the free money, I need you to spend just a little bit of time on the process to get the free money. And that's what I'm showing you what to do so that you're not confused or wondering like how, when, where. You're going to write an email letter introducing yourself to that foundation that you find to set up this meeting. Yes. And in that email, you are describing your organization. You are talking about who you target, who you help, how you help them. You are aligning your mission to the mission of that foundation. You are not asking for money. That is the quickest way to get a rejection letter, is for you to send an email to a foundation asking for money in the email. No. You're asking for a meeting. And if you send this letter, this email to a real person at that foundation at a real email address, oh, you will get a response. You will get a response. All right. Now, it's time to find the money. You're going to do grant research. Now, Google is fine. Google is great, but go to a source where all they do, right, is generate information on grants, right? The Foundation Directory Online is the leading source of information on grant makers in the country. They give you a list of grant makers, not the list of grants. So let's say you're seeking a grant maker because you have a program in Kansas City, and you focus on making sure veterans are able to transition back to civilian life because they have PTSD. You input that information, you will get a list of organizations that provide such grants. Now, the foundation directory online, you might have noticed that in some circles it's called Candid, CANDID, but FDO, $50 a month to subscribe, right? To get you lists of grants, right? Or guess what? It's free. It's free at your local library. Free. All right. Grants.gov, that's the source for federal grants. Lilly Foundation. I saw some ministries, right? They're the largest funder of religious organizations. And yes, churches get grants every day. Yes, they do. Grantwatch.com, I love them. They're $20 a week. And if you only have $20 to spend on this, spend $20. Get you a list of grants. And they give you the list of actual grant openings, plus the deadlines, plus the synopsis of the grant, plus the contact information, name, email address, telephone number, right? Grant Station is $200 for the entire year. And so is Grant Watch. So Grant Watch is $20 a week, but $200 for the whole year. Grant Station is $200 for the whole year. They also give you lists of grants, right? Urban Awareness USA, it's just another great source and they're free. So sign up for their newsletter. Let them know Linda sent you. I want to show you really quickly, how do you conduct this grant research so that you're getting a list of grants? This is Grant Watch. Remember, $20 a week. Start in the middle. Check. Are you a nonprofit or business? Now, the individuals typically, the individual grants that I've seen are only for PhD students in colleges and universities seeking money for research. So check nonprofit or business. Look to my left. You start applying these filters. Who's your target population? Who do you help? What is your subject area? Business and industry, financial services, fashion. You push a button, you get a list of grants. Let me say something to you about location, because I kid you not, most of you are leaving money on the table. Most of you are leaving grant money on the table. You must start local. It's easier to get local grant funding. It's easier to get local grant funding. Go to your local community foundations. You can even Google local community foundation near me, local community foundation near me, and meet with them. There's one in almost every community across the country. And all they do is give grant money, right? Now, don't disregard the national funders, right? A foundation could be headquartered in California and still be giving grant money to organizations in Florida. And for my international friends, yes, this is for you too. This is not just for organizations in the US. You could live in the US and maybe you serve a population in Belize. I have a client that lives in, serves a population in Belize, right? Or maybe you live in Belize and you want to serve a population in Belize. These are global, right? These are global search engines. And you have to remember, a lot of these corporations are global in scope. So this is not just for US organizations. But anyway, this is Grant Watch, $20 a week. Get you a list of grants. I said I had a list for you. If you are a business owner, please go and register at helloalice.com. Now, a lot of these, you will see the deadline is passed because they were from this year. Whatever you do, it is so important to get on that mailing list because when that grant reopens in 2025, you want to know. Do you have a brick and mortar, right? Maybe you have a physical store or physical building. The Main Street grant opens every year. Do you have a beauty brand? Are you maybe developing a beauty product, right? L'Oreal NAACP, that round 3 is going to be opening. Amber Grants for Women, they give away $30,000 every single month of the year. $10,000 is geared towards startups. $10,000 is geared towards a particular theme. So whatever you do, if you have a small business, Amber Grants for Women, right? I won't go through all of these. I Fund Women, they give a lot of international funding. Cartier, they have a program. Now, look at Busy and Sky's the Limit. Are you a startup? Busy and Sky's the Limit. They give startup funding, right? Now, you might be thinking, oh, Linda, I'm just too small for this. I'm a solopreneur. I just like, how can I get grant funding? Solopreneurs get grant money too. I literally just saw a program. I got an email yesterday where it was strictly for, it was a an incubator where you also got grant money. It was actually from Goldman Sachs. And they don't even want you to apply if you have an LLC. Like you have to be a sole proprietor, right? So please don't think you're too small for these grants, right? Or you might be thinking like, I don't have some big, huge staff. I don't even have paid staff. That's okay. They're all volunteer organizations, all volunteer nonprofits that get grant money. So don't think you need some huge organizational chart, right? And network, join organizations, let your community and other organizations know who you are and what you do. All right. Now, really quickly, I want you to think about banks. And I want you to put into the chat, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about banks and money? Banks and money, banks and money. What is like the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about banks and money? Banks and money. Let's see what we have. Credit, loans, interest, yeah, high interest. Some are not business friendly. That is true. That is true. Equity, hard to get. Did you know that grants, whether banks, are some of the largest providers of grant money in the United States? Banks. Yes, banks. We're in Northeast Ohio. We're really fortunate because there are a lot of banks that provide grant money. One of our largest foundations in our state is a bank foundation, Key Bank. We have PNC Bank. We have Citizens Bank. They all give grants, right? I'm giving you four hot leads. Bank of America is the largest bank in the country. They have hundreds of millions of dollars in endowments to give away in grants. I'm not talking about loans. I'm talking about grants. All right. Wells Fargo. They have a huge grant program, probably second to only Bank of America. TD Banks, grants. And I'm giving you a fourth one, Truist, Truist. And most of these will give to for-profits and nonprofits, but yes, you will need to meet with them. All right. So this is really important because we're at the end of the year and you want to be ready January 1st. And I said I was here to help you. You know, there's a significant amount of money available. So what did I do? I have a grant writing course for you. I have an in-depth grant writing course. This is how I won $17 million. I put it in a course for you to follow and for you to do the same. And yes, it includes my coaching. I'm going to be your hand as you are moving through this journey. All right. Now, what do you get? This course teaches you how to write every part of a grant application, every single part of a grant application in depth, right? And then I'm teaching you how to research so that you find the organizations that want to give you funding. But here's where the coaching comes in. Let's say you meet with the foundation, you set up that meeting. You come into the Facebook group and you ask me questions, or you come on the live group coaching call and you ask me questions. You let me know, oh, I'm getting ready to meet with XYZ Foundation. I'm going to tell you what you need to say, what you need to bring with you, keywords, buzzwords, right? What you need to listen for, right? The course will teach you how to write your budget. But you come into the Facebook group and you ask questions, or you come into that live group coaching call and you ask me a question, and I'm going to let you know how much you should be asking for. Should you be asking for foundation, money for your operations, or for your programs or projects, right? So yes, the coaching becomes critical for this course, and that's really what sets it apart. You get 12 modules, 35 lessons. There's a video for every lesson, but here is where the course is so different. Over the last 16 years, I've been hired to build grant applications, to write them. So I know what the questions are. I know what kinds of questions they're going to ask you on grant applications. I've seen them for 16 years now, right? Some iteration of a similar pool of questions. I have the questions in the course. I'm asking you the questions in the course so that you can answer them at your own pace. So you can provide in-depth answers so that when you're done with my course, you have a grant template that you're now going to use to start applying for grants. And yes, I do give you templates. Remember, I said it's important to send that email to the foundation and set up that meeting. I have a template for you. All you have to do is just plug in your information. You want to meet with a partner? I have a template for you, right? I have actual grant examples so that you see what it looks like. Every grant example won money in this course. Every grant example in the course I wrote myself. All right. And then I do something nobody else in the country is doing with their course. I give you a list of over 600 organizations. 600. When I tell you this course is what I do to serve the community, you're gonna pass out when you see the price. It's so low. I'm literally almost giving this to you because I know it can help you. And this is how I serve, right? I certainly have other services that are much, much, much higher, but this I know can help so many people. I created a private Facebook group, and the Facebook group is everything, I have to tell you, because the students in the group, they want every other student to win. They put more grants into the Facebook group than I do. And this is where you come in and you ask questions. And I'm in there often, often, but I'm not the only one that can answer your questions. There are other grant writers, professional grant writers. I have students who are CEOs, I have people who have doctorates in education, and I have retired grant writers. So you come into the Facebook group, you'll get help. But I do have one additional bonus. 1 hour of group coaching, 1 hour of group coaching live with me, live with me. All right. Every month. All right. So I've had the course audited because education is important. I've had it audited because I want to make sure it's valid. And so this is what the course is worth, not what you're paying. The 12 modules, 35 lessons are worth $3,549. The videos are worth $599. The funding list alone is worth well over $500. And yes, you have workbooks and planners and grant trackers. Everything's online. Online, you go at your own pace. Here, are you ready for what you are getting ready to pay? The course is a $5,000 course. I don't believe in plucking numbers out of the clouds. I've had the course audited, and the grant writing courses at the universities, oh my gosh, they're $5,000. And you certainly don't get access to the professor. This is what you're getting ready to pay. $5,000 course is normally $997. I try to keep it at $497 to keep it affordable. But you hopped on the webinar, and I know you could have been somewhere else at 7 o'clock. You let me know that you are truly serious about getting this funding. And let me tell you, you're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. Because if the cuts are being made that we're hearing are being made to the government, a lot of these government organizations that give billions of dollars in grant funding, we may not see that, right? So now is the time. Well, you know what's great though, is that it's December, so the budgets have been set for many of these organizations and many of these other foundations, right? So we know the money is going to be available, at least initially, right? So you're getting an additional 50% off. The additional 50% off is off of the $497. So you're literally paying $247. That's it. It's one payment for the whole course, for the Facebook group, for the monthly live group coaching. When I told you I was serious about putting you in a position so that you can win this grant money, here it is. Yes, you need a code. Yes, it's only going to be good for 3 days because most people, right, they don't have a code. They pay the $497. So you've got 3 days, DEC04P. That's your code. You have to input it to take the 50% off. And if you need extra help, I am here to give you extra help. You want 2 months to pay? You got 2 months to pay. And guess what? You get everything after the first payment. $137.50 is what you pay now. You get everything, the course, the Facebook group, the group coaching sessions, And then a month from now, you pay the last $137.50. And I don't believe in dripping my course. There are grants available now. So you need to be in this course now. So even if you've only paid $137.50, you get access to everything. Put a 2 on the end of the code so that we know you want the 2-month payment. All right. And what you see at the bottom there is not a mistake. That's not a mistake. The course never expires. I have colleagues who charge $2,000 for their grant writing course that you don't get anywhere near what I'm giving you. Certainly not access to them. All right. $247 for everything. And I can assure you that this month is the last time you'll see this course for this low. It just won't be. All right. So this is everything you get. You learn how to write every part of a grant. The letter of inquiry is so important because that LOI is oftentimes being used as a gatekeeper. Sometimes the foundations want you to complete a letter of inquiry before you even get to the grant application, right? There's a whole lesson on how you write it and every other part of a grant application. And yes, you go at your own pace. So you have all the information, 247, one payment, right? Put in DEC 04P. This is what you do. The link to buy the course is in the chat. Now, if you want to pay the one payment of 247, you want to hit 497. Once you hit the link, you're going to see this page. Hit 497 because you're getting a discount off of that. It will take you to this page here. Everybody look to the left. $497 is what people pay who don't have a coupon, and most people don't have a coupon. You have a huge coupon. You click have a coupon. This is important. Click have a coupon. Input your coupon code. It will take 50% off. You're paying $247 for everything. Now, you see this little block here? That's if you want a private VIP session with me and I get you together in that hour. Let me tell you, because before we even talk about grants, I'm looking at your mission, your vision, your infrastructure, your target population, and your program, project, or service. And if you need to define those, we work on that so that by the time we're done, you have what you need, right? It's a strategy session. It's $495 because when you leave, you're good. Perfect clarity. You get the session notes and the video. The only time you will ever see it for $195 is if you buy it along with the course. Other than that, it's $495. And if you feel like you need additional time, we can deal with that later after we meet initially. All right. And let me say there's something special for the people who just want to make the one payment, whether it's 247 or whether you add on the 195, which you can. And that is buy now, pay later. This could not be easier. Affirm Afterpay Klarna, 6 months, same as cash. 6 months, same as cash. Literally 6 months, same as cash. $247 if you add the 195, as I think it's like maybe 447, stretched out over 6 months. Affirm will give you 12 months with interest. But if you don't want to pay the interest, 6 months, same as cash, that's up to you. Or you can just pay with a credit card. All right. That's with the one payment. You want to pay in 2 different payments, you can. Hit the 2 payment plan, 2 times 275, and then input that coupon code. Now you're only paying $137.50, right? And yes, you can still add the 195 to it if you want to. All right. I want everybody to look at this slide here. Everybody look at Whitney. Whitney didn't think she was going to get any grants. Whitney last year got $200,000. $200,000 in grant funding, right? And now she's saying, I can be a salaried employee of my own business. She did exactly what I'm asking you to do. She's a student. She started local. She got $40,000 from the Southern Power Fund. And by the way, if there's a utility company in your community, please approach them for grant money. Then she went national. She got $50,000 from the National Birth Equity Collaborative. $200,000. Oh, here's an LLC. Tranquility Point Therapeutic Massage Company. A massage company got $20,000. We are so very just thankful and grateful for your course. It's been life-changing for our business, life-changing. You think about the investment and what people are getting for what, $247? Christina got $10,000. May I share that I'm so grateful for Linda? I would not have had the confidence to follow through on applying for grants if it wasn't for her grant writing course. The depth of information provided is unmatched from my experience. She won her first grant, her first grant. Many of you come to me, Linda, I've never won grant money before. Is it possible? This is the first time for everybody. Of course, absolutely. April used the course to start pitching her company, right? She said, Linda, I'm ready. You taught me how to tell my story. There's a storytelling lesson in the course. $9,000. Beat out 100 competitors, came in second place. And 3 weeks ago, you want to know who won the LegalZoom award? 3 weeks ago, that was my student Emily, got $10,000. Cornisha got a $750 grant from Walmart, one of the most difficult places to get grants, right? She bought the one-on-one. I always laugh when I read this. Thanks, Linda Peavy, because that one-on-one session we had is getting my organization funded. These are all real people in the Facebook group. Kimberly got 4 sponsorships in less than 3 months. When we get to the Q&A, ask me the difference between a grant and a sponsorship. You'll want to know. All right. We're done. We are done. We are done. I'm going to stop sharing because it's time for Q&A. But before we do the Q&A, I want you to do something for you. I want you to drop into the chat, all of you, before you go. This is for you. It's go time, ladies. It's go time. It's December. You need to be ready January 1st. I want you to write into this chat. I am ready to get grant money. I believe in manifestation. I believe in literally writing down what you want to have manifested. Like speak this into the universe. Get this out of you. Get this out of you. Write it down. Get it out of you. Write it down. I am ready to get grant money, right? Because time is over. Time is over for sitting on the sidelines. I'm a huge sports fan and not getting in this game. This is a small amount of money, ladies. $247 for a $5,000 course that you write off. Did I tell you write it off? It's a tax deduction completely. Write it off. Or you spread it out over what, 6 payments, right? You've got to have just a little bit of skin in this game, right? You've got to invest in yourself and your organization because people are waiting on you. People are waiting on your skills and your talents, right? It's go time. It's almost the end of the year. Whatever you do, be ready to go January 1st, right? And write this course off. Write it off. Who is ready? Who is ready? I'm going to the top. Who is ready to get this grant money? Yeah, Davisha, Shakina, Pamela. That's what I'm talking about. Tanya, Davisha, yes, write it, write it, write it. Grant money. I'm ready to get this grant money. Alicia, Anita, Yvonne, Lakitha, yes, Mary, Dara, LaCosta, Lydia, Latrice, right? Get this out of you. Like time is over. I cannot explain to you how important it's going to be for you to be ready. I have a coach that tells me all the time, Linda, you're the ones you've been waiting for. He says that all the time. We're the ones we've been waiting for. There's not going to be some organization to come in and save our organization, especially as women leaders. Like nobody's going to come and save us from anything. We have to place ourselves in the position to win, right? Place yourself in a position to win is what I'm asking you to do. And look, I would love for you to buy the course and let me coach you. But you know what? Even if you don't buy this course, whatever you do, don't be in this position January 1st. Do not be in the same position January 1st as you're in now. This is too much information for you to sit on, too much money for you to sit on. Don't let this be another webinar that you take and you don't act on it. Do something to move yourself forward. There are people waiting. There are people waiting on you. There are people needing your expertise and your skills. Right, Miranda? Andre? Yes. This is Davis, Yvonne. Yes. It's like it's time. It's time. Stacy? I'm ready to get this grant money. Yes, it's Q&A time. I'm going to start with the Q&A box. Yes, so don't worry. Don't worry at all. Everybody will get the link, right, to the replay. And for the next 3 days, since I'm giving you 3 days, right? I'm giving you 3 days to get the deal. For the next 3 days, you'll get emails with a link to the replay so that you can watch the replay and download the replay, right? You'll also get the code in your emails for the next 3 days so that you'll have it available. So you've got 3 days to get the deal. But you know, it's always important for people who stay until the end, right? Yes. So for those of you who stayed until the end, I have something special. Many of you know that artificial intelligence is very important now. It has really been just absorbed in almost every aspect of our life, and it's only going to be more so as we move forward. So some of you might be using AI to help you write grants. So I am creating an in-depth course to show you how to use AI to write grants, but I have a little mini training that's like an intro, $99, right? Little mini intro, right? So that you can learn how to use AI to effectively write grants. And what you need to know first how to feed it. You're going to have to use this course to get the information to then feed AI. AI is not some magical tool where you press a button and, oh, there's this beautiful grant application. No, no. You need to learn how to create your information about your organization, which is what this course will do. And then you can plug it into AI and perfect, right? But you can also do that when you come into the Facebook group, right? And you ask questions. But guess what? I'm going to give it to you. If you buy the course today, I will gift you that little mini AI training just so that you'll have it, just so you'll have it. So you'll be prepared because it's coming, right? But it will help you to write grants faster and better, but you use it in conjunction with other avenues that will help you write information about your organization, which is what this course will do. All right. So if you buy the course today, you'll get that AI training for free instead of paying $99. All right. Let's see. Let's see. So yes, absolutely. You'll get the emails. I'm answering questions from the Q&A first. I am fully disabled. Starting my business, where is a good website to get grants for a disabled person starting out? I gave you three. I gave you three. It is about how you research. First of all, whatever you're providing, whatever service you're providing, there is a grant for it. It is about how do you research to find it. So I gave you three resources. On all of those resources, you can literally research for the type of grant that you need. You are a disabled person. There are grants for disabled people. But what are you doing? How are you helping? You want to start a business doing what? Because you're searching based on what business it is that you are seeking money from. But you can also search for grants that are literally geared for people who are disabled business owners, right? So it's wide open. So you can be searching for grants for you because you're disabled, but also based on whatever business you have. I gave you three: Foundation Directory Online, Grant Watch, Grant Station. Any of those three, you can research grants, right? Based on whatever business that you have. Also, you can research grants that may be available for you because you're disabled. All right. So there's no separate search. No, those are the best portals available that I've given to you for sure. All right, I'm going to go over to the webinar chat. I've answered the questions and the Q&A. I'm going to go over, let's see. Oh, the code is not working for you. Make absolutely sure that you are using all lowercase letters. All lowercase letters, right? Use all lowercase letters. Now, keep in mind, if you want the one payment, that's DEC04P like Paul. If you want the two payment, that's DEC04P, put a 2 on the end of it for the two payment plan, all right? So try it again, all lowercase letters. And let me just, I always like to double check Let me just absolutely check to make sure. Yes, everything's in there. Everything's working great. All right. I'm going to go back up to the webinar chat because I did see questions in the webinar. Yes, write it off. It is tax deductible. So if you have a small business, you can write it off completely. If you have a nonprofit, you're not paying taxes, but you can list this as an expense for sure. All right, let's see. Yes, churches can get grants. Absolutely. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Questions in the webinar chat. I did see a few. You can certainly still ask them in the Q&A as well, but I have a place in Canada. Excellent. So you might have noticed, or no, I didn't show Grant Station, but yes, absolutely. You can search for grants if you live in Canada. Maybe you live in Canada and you serve a population in the United States. You can still search for grants, or maybe you live in Canada and you service your clients in Canada. You can search for grants. And if you go to Grant Station, that's the one that's $200 for the whole year. They have a special portal just for Canada. They have an international portal, and then they have a special portal just for Canada. However, if you use Grant Watch, they're $20 a week, you can put in Canada for your location. But I happen to love Grant Station because they have a separate portal just for Canadian grant money. Now, if you use FDO, the Foundation Directory Online, just make sure you input as your location. You're looking for fund, you're looking for organizations that provide funding for nonprofits or for-profits, whichever one you are in Canada. All right, let's see. Okay, so someone said if you bank with one of them, it will be easier. Maybe, maybe. I do not want you thinking, right? And let me explain to you why. This gets into the grant versus sponsorship issue. Be careful. You do not have to be a member of the bank for the bank to give you money, right? Not at all. Not even close. You do not have to be a member of that bank. What I want you to do is search for a bank that has a great presence in your community. Maybe they have a regional office or a headquarters office, but don't feel like you have to be a member of the bank because, as a matter of fact, this is the difference between a grant and a sponsorship. With a grant, the sponsoring organization that's giving the grant, they cannot receive any type of reciprocal benefit, right, from you. So if they give you grant money, they can't turn around and say, you need to be a member of our bank in order for us to give you grant money, right? No, they can't say that. That's illegal, right? They can't receive anything of value. Now, they can ask you to complete a grantee report and let them know what you did with their grant money, right? But they can't receive something from you that's of value to them. A sponsorship is different. When you seek a sponsorship from an organization, they are expecting something from you. Now, if they give you $1,000, maybe they want to put their widget into your swag bag, or maybe they want to speak to your audience, or maybe they want their name on your marquee, or maybe they want an ad in your program booklet, right? They're expecting something, right? But don't think that you have to be a member of a bank for that bank to give you grant funding. All right. The Facebook group is grant writing for non-writers, but you have to be a student to be admitted. All right. I am a veteran. Oh, great question. I am a veteran and started my business this year. Do I still qualify as a startup business? Yes, you do. Some startups, some organizations consider startups between 0 and 3 years, right? So between 0 and 3 years, oftentimes you're still going to be considered a startup. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Other questions. All right, let's see. Let me just make sure. Yes, it is go time. It really is. I can't stress that enough because we just don't know what's going to happen. And I do know that if they're going to be cutting a lot of the government expenditures, then that means some of those agencies that give grant funding, that's going to be cut too. So it's really about making sure that you know where and how to find these grants, where and how. And the person that was having trouble with the code, I want to make sure you were able to get in, just all lowercase, all lowercase. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you this live because someone else is having issues. I want to, I want to get out of here and, all right, I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to show this to everybody live who wants to buy the course. The link is in the chat. So when you click the link, I'm going to share my screen so that you see this. When you click your link, you're going to come to this page here. Actually, you'll be at this page. Let's say you want to buy the $247 one payment. You hit purchase now, right? You have a code. Input your coupon code DEC04P. You hit apply. You see where it takes off 50% immediately. Immediately. You're only paying $247. Now you can add the private session if you want. Now it's $442, or you don't have to remove it, right? But look over here. You see Affirm, Cash App Pay, Google Pay. If you hit that little drop down, you see Klarna, right? Then you have Afterpay. That's Afterpay Klarna. You will see the opportunity for you to use some, if you want to, some of the buy now, pay laters. All right. That's up to you. All right. Got it. Now, oh, let me do one more. You want to buy the 2-month deal? Hit 2 times 275. You have a coupon. Input your coupon. Your coupon is DEC04P. Put that number 2 for 2 payments. Took off 50%, right? You pay $137.50, and if you want to add on the coaching, you can. Hopefully that cleared everything else up. All right. The code to split the payments do not work. I literally just showed that to you. So it does work. It does work. The code to split the payments, right, is the DEC04P, the number 2. I just showed that to you. I'm going to show it to you one more time, right? Let's see. Let me share. All right. Let me go back. So let's say you want to make the payment, the 2-month payment, right? $137.50 now and then in a month. You hit the 2 times 275 payment plan, right? You have a coupon, or it saved the coupon. You put in the coupon code DEC04P, the number 2, and literally you see what it did. It took off 50%. Now you're only paying $137.50, and then you can pay. Now the Afterpay and Klarna and Affirm, that's not available with the 2 months payment because that's your payment plan is 2 months. That's only available when you buy the one payment. So hopefully that cleared everything else up. Oh, yes. If you use the 2 payment, do you still get the AI program? Absolutely. If you buy the program today, you get the AI program that's worth $99. You get that today, whether you buy the 2-month payment or the 1-month payment, because keep in mind, if you buy the 2-month payment, you get everything now. You get access to your whole course. You will get, for those who are buying the course, you'll get 3 emails. One will be a welcome email. Another will be an email with the link to that Facebook group. You want to be in the Facebook group, I'm telling you, right? And my next coaching, the last coaching call of the year, you don't want to miss it. You'll have access to that. All right. And yes, you will be sent the free AI program. All right. All right. Other questions. Let's see. That's if you buy the course today. And could you please put my email address into the webinar chat? So if you have any other questions, just send me an email. Send me an email if you have any other questions. Also, I need you to put it on your safe senders list anyway. Add it to your email list because this is the email where you will be getting your replay and your emails. And I don't want your replay going to your spam. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay, I believe we're done. Let me just see if there are any other questions. Okay, answered all of the questions in the Q&A. And I believe that is it. Let me just go back up and make sure. All right, we are done. We are done. So I want to thank all of you for hopping on. Just know it is go time. It really is. I don't want you to sit on the information because there's a lot of it. And you will get your emails for sure. You'll get your emails for the next 3 days with a reminder, with your replay, with the codes, right? If you have any other questions, just send me an email. If you buy the course today, you'll get the free AI training, right? So that you'll have it as well. But I want to thank you so much. And I just want to say, truly, I appreciate you coming on. I know you could have been somewhere else. And just know that there are people waiting on your talents, right? I don't want you to be on the sidelines any longer because I know you're passionate about what you do. And you can do this. That's what I really need for you to know this. Those women that you saw that got those grants, they weren't professional grant writers. That's why I call my course Grant Writing for Non-Writers. They weren't professional writers. Some of them never thought they would get any grant before, right? Some of them had never received grants before, right? I take you on this journey step by step. All right. So thank you so much. I want you to have a safe season and a blessed season and be encouraged, right? Because what is for you, right? Being regardless of what is going on in the world, what is for you is for you. Just go get it, right? Just go get it. Place yourself in the right position, right, to receive what is yours. So I want to thank you so much. I want you to have a blessed and a safe, not just evening, but season as we go into this season. So again, my name is Linda Peavy, creator of the course Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys to Winning Grant Proposals. Thank you so much. I want you to have a blessed night. And hopefully I will see you in the Facebook group over the course of the next 3 days, right? You got 3 days to get the discount. And if you come into the Facebook group, you'll find that I ask you a question. Just make sure you answer it because I try to help you immediately. I don't even want you waiting until the next group coaching call. All right. So thank you so much. Thanks everybody for hopping on. I appreciate it. And I have a beautiful and a safe and a blessed holiday season. Bye-bye.